Good evening. I'm going to call to order the Cuyahoga County Council's regular meeting for Tuesday, June the 9th, 2015. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Calling the roll, Ms. Conwell.
Here.
Mr. Jones.
Here.
Ms. Brown.
Here.
Mr. Hairston.
Here.
Ms. Simon.
Here.
Mr. Greenspan.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Germana.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Schwan.
Here.
Council President Brady.
Here.
There is a quorum.
Thank you.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 4, silent meditation, each to their own. Item 5. Any public comment related to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. Satinder Puri.
Welcome, Mr. Puri.
Okay, good evening. County Executive Budish, Council President, Vice President, and Council members. The subject of my comments is fair funding for the arts in Cuyahoga County. While I don't smoke, I love the arts and the role they play in enriching our lives on a daily basis. As a volunteer teacher for the past 10 years at a CMSD school, I've integrated the arts in the teaching of science, math, and engineering. I oppose your resolution for renewing the sin tax on cigarettes to pay for arts and culture. Sin taxes are regressive taxes. I find the practice of taxing cigarette smokers to support the arts totally repugnant and aesthetically insensitive. We need fair funding for the arts where we all pay. County leaders in 2015 continue to champion what Jimmy DeMora championed in 2006, supporting the arts on the backs of cigarette smokers, demonstrating an absence of enlightened leadership. Artists are known for portraying social injustice in their works. At the past 2 meetings, a parade of speakers urged continuation of the sin tax because the arts benefit the community. Now, this benefit is indisputable. What is also indisputable is that this benefit results from direct exploitation of the weak and powerless. Yet no one at the past 2 meetings, I repeat, no one, questioned whether this exploitation to fund a noble activity like the arts was the right thing to do. It is very easy to talk about and portray social injustice in works of art, but not so easy to fight social injustice if one is benefiting from the exploitation with financial grants. And what does Roldo Baltimore, Cleveland's conscience, have to say about the sin tax? Quote, "This is a class issue, and the upper elite are putting on a classless act. They are going after the little guy again," unquote. I will actively oppose the 2015 sin tax with my vote no on sin tax signs, fighting for the little guy, while the proponents will wage an expensive campaign supported by the arts establishment. It's a sin, Cuyahoga, to fund the arts just on the backs of smokers. We need fair funding for the arts. Tax all or tax none. The ends should never justify the means. Never. Vote no on syntax. I'm submitting a document for the record. Thank you, and go Cavs.
Thank you. I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes for May 26, 2015 Committee of the Whole and May 26, 2015 regular meeting.
So move.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Announcements from the Council President. Well, we have a little special announcement here. I usually don't make these. We'd like to congratulate our Deputy Clerk of Council, Janine Carter, as she has officially completed the necessary training to become a certified municipal clerk through the International Institute of Municipal Clerks. Congratulations. All right. Jean is setting in for our clerk this evening. Next, we come to message from the county executive.
Thank you. I wanted to announce that yesterday, Council's Board of Control passed a very significant funding for youth jobs this summer. Just a little background, February, the state cut 14 and 15-year-olds from the program for summer jobs. And we, in response, this council agreed to put in $100,000 earlier this year to cover some small portion of those kids that we hoped to employ. After much lobbying went on, including us, including the YOU program, including the Ohio Legislative Black Caucus, which took a significant role in this, the governor decided to make an additional $2.7 million available for summer jobs for 14 and 15-year-olds. Those funds, the determination was made just very late last week. It's going to counties that previously served at least 100 14 and 15-year-olds. That's limited to 4 counties throughout the state, and Cuyahoga County is one of them. We will be getting $913,000 added to our $100,000. We'll be able to serve an additional 600 kids. It'll be a total of somewhere around 800 kids this summer throughout the entire county. The children make a minimum wage, $8.10 an hour. The jobs will last 4 to 6 weeks, starting at the beginning of July. And I wanted to thank you, Council President, for allowing us to get this on the Board of Control agenda so quickly, even though we were well short of the time periods normally allotted to get items on an agenda. But because of the time constraints that we had, we needed to get this out as quickly as possible. Because we acted yesterday, the interviews will actually begin tomorrow for youth for this program. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knows that those funds are available. They'll be throughout the county. If anybody would like to do a site visit, there's something like 687 sites, I believe, that kids will be working in every one of your districts. And if you'd like to make a site visit, please contact Dave Merriman, and he'll be happy to help you make that arrangement. Thank you very much.
Item number 9, legislation introduced by council, consideration of a resolution of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2015-0104, a resolution adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan and declaring the necessity of this resolution become immediately effective.
This will be referred to HR. Committee reports and consideration of a resolution for council for second reading.
Resolution number 2015-0076, a resolution determining to submit to the electors the question of renewing the excise tax on the sale of cigarettes for the purpose of funding arts and cultural facilities and programs in the county and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This item will move to the June 23rd meeting. It's my intention to have this item placed on the agenda on the 23rd for third reading adoption. We've had two full committee meetings dedicated to this item, and I know many of you have had individual meetings to learn more about the levy. I do want to make sure that everyone has all of their questions answered prior to the 23rd. Staff or Karen Gall-Mills, Executive Director of the Cuyahoga Arts and Culture Committee, will be able to ensure that all your questions are answered. So if you do have questions, please help us resolve those, and we'll look forward, we hope, to final passage on the third, for third reading on at the next meeting.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
Chairman?
Councilman.
Could I take a moment to just share, maybe just do a little commercial, so to speak, for the arts and culture? As we've been having this discussion, I thought it was important to get out to the community, just the opportunity to apply for these dollars. I'd like to take a moment and just read so that we can just get a sense of what arts and culture actually captures. According to the ORC, the definition for arts and culture includes, or states, including but not limited to literature, theater, music, dance, ballet, painting, sculpture, photography, motion pictures, architecture, archaeology, history, natural history, or the natural sciences. The breadth of this definition helps them fund all sorts of projects, which include, for example, an environmental project like a family fishing day at Doan Brook, a community garden project, or a seed bank. So there are things far beyond just what we imagine as being arts and culture, as things within this community that that can be funded. The deadline for the application is June 25th. So you have to think a year in advance. For 2016, funding, the application process begins on or ends on June 25th, and it is the eligibility process or application just to determine the organization's eligibility. So they don't have to have the full-blown project at this point. But in August, by August, you will have to complete the application process as well. But again, the eligibility process is due by June 25th. So we want to get that word out and encourage as many within the community as possible to apply for the opportunity to get these dollars. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Committee report and consideration of an ordinance of council for second reading.
Ordinance number 2015-0009, an ordinance amending Chapter 713 of the Cuyahoga County Code to provide for the establishment of various service fees at the Cuyahoga County Animal Shelter and declaring the necessity of this ordinance become immediately effective.
This will be moved to the June 23rd meeting. Consideration of an ordinance of council for third reading adoption.
Ordinance number 2015-0008, an ordinance amending Section 804.02 of the Cuyahoga County Code to repeal the Cuyahoga County College Savings Account Program and to provide an orderly winding down for program participants, repealing Section 207.03 of the Cuyahoga County Code, and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective.
Can I have a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion.
Mr. Chair.
Ms. Simon and then Mr. Greenspan, I believe.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to say that the county charter strongly recommends that the county focus on education. However, I want to make clear that it's not a mandate. However, the council is very committed to education, whether it be by way of college or workforce training, for which we've budgeted significant dollars. Since our resources are limited, we have to be strategic on what programs we're going to support. This particular program has not proven successful. We therefore, when we go through this budget process, will be determining what programs make sense, which don't, and how we're going to allocate resources for our children's future and the county's future, because we know that those two go hand in hand. So we're going to work really hard to find what programs we support. We have several programs in place right now that really there's a waiting list for. So we're really going to be strategic. And I want to thank my colleagues for being bold and passing this to begin with and working through it, and it's time to just reevaluate.
Councilman Greenspan and Councilman Schron.
Great. Thank you, Mr. President. I want to urge my colleagues for the support of this legislation. This demonstrates responsive action to a program that was initiated and just unfortunately was not successful. As we move through the budget process for 2016-2017, our approach to programs and initiatives of the county will be focused on outcomes. And we just demonstrated through this program that the outcome just wasn't successful. And I would just once again urge my colleagues for the support of this legislation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Like my colleagues, we are committed to education and scholarships and programs of that nature. You can see it by evidence by our other actions, so that we would not want anybody to think that this council is not actively committed to the educational process, scholarships, and growth and development out there. However, the program itself, as was put forward, and I spoke against it every single time I had a chance because I didn't see it as a good use of where we go. Not the vision, not the idea, not the concept, but the execution of this individual plan. And so I look forward to continuing to do our level to support things like the College Now program with the phenomenal success that we had in supporting that by making those dollars available for county residents to go to county schools. We had 100% retention from last year's first semester to this year's second semester. So it's statistics like that tells, I think, the county and the community that we are supportive of this. And I personally am very dedicated to scholarships and in my own family and commitment to the kids in the Cleveland Public School System. So please don't anyone walk away thinking that because this program is being pulled, that is a blight on our desire to support scholarships and education, because it's clearly not. We will do it, and we will continue to do it in a very positive way. And this just did not work out that way, and wish it had, but it did not. So I will be supporting my colleagues in voting for this this resolution.
I wanted to also comment on this particular issue. We, as a council, spent quite a bit of time, more than 2 years, I believe, taking a look at this. And there were quite a few reservations. A lot of people had other ideas about how we might go about this. But it was only with, of course, the best intentions that the former administration put this forward, and that the council was willing to, with some reservations, support it. However, I do think it's important for the council to be able to be flexible and to be able to admit and come to the right conclusions when we may have made the wrong decision. And that's just as important as being able to make the right one, is being able to know when you've made perhaps the wrong one, in my opinion. Any other comments, Councilman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I will be supporting this legislation as well. I think we need to remember the true spirit of this, the goal of this legislation or this college, the savings account program, was to increase the participation of our county residents in post-secondary education, whether that was college, vocational, whatever that might be, post-secondary education. I was of the mindset that there were more cost-effective ways of doing that. The projects that we have, what we have done to this point, some solutions have been offered that we can market this better, but I think there were fundamental flaws in what we did to begin with. Striving to help children in kindergarten ultimately go to college, the time from kindergarten to 12th grade, the support you gave through a savings account, I believe there were just too many pitfalls along the way to increase college participation, and the years of waiting for the payoff, I think, were fundamental flaws in the project. And finding solutions that target those closer to graduation, whether 12th grade, high school age, as my colleague mentioned, the College Savings Now program. We have within the county as well our Closing the Achievement Gap pilot program that is exposing ninth graders to college participation and getting them in that mindset now, as opposed to dropping out of school, and reaching the very at-risk families and youth that we want to target in whatever the ultimate solution is. So there are other opportunities and other ways, again, to be just a little more cost-effective in what we do. So don't see repealing this as a vote against education, but as an effort to find a better way to reach the stated goal.
Any other discussion? Councilman Germano.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I was a yes vote. I do not want to say anything about this being flawed. I was hopeful that this was going to have an attitude and bring about an attitude that college is possible. I was skeptical, but it wasn't flawed. It was not accepted. So I'm disappointed in that, and I'll be voting yes.
Any other discussion? All right, I think this is a bit of a precedent for the council. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted. Legislation introduced by the executive, consideration of resolutions for first reading, adoption under suspension of rules. We have a motion to suspend the rules.
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rule.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules. Any discussion? All those in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The rules have been suspended.
Resolution number 2015-0105, a resolution amending the 2014-2015 biennial operating budget for 2015 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations from the general fund and other funding sources for appropriation transfers between budget accounts and for cash transfers between budgetary funds in order to meet the budgetary needs of various county departments, offices, and agencies, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Motion?
Motion to adopt.
Motion being made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2015-0106, a resolution approving a collective bargaining agreement between Cuyahoga County and Cleveland Building and Construction Trades Council, representing approximately 103 employees in 27 classifications in the Department of Public Works for the period 7/1/2015 through 6/30/2018, directing that funds necessary to implement the collective bargaining agreement be budgeted and appropriated, authorizing the county executive to execute the agreement and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Seconded. This was discussed in executive session. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Excuse me? Councilman Gallagher recuses himself. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution number 2015-0107, a resolution confirming the county executive's appointment of Gary Shamus to serve on the Cuyahoga County Audit Committee to fill a vacancy in an incomplete term commencing immediately and ending 12/31/2020, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Referred to HR.
Resolution number 2015-0108, a resolution confirming the county executive's appointment or reappointment of various individuals to serve on the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission for the term 1/1/2015 through 12/31/2017, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Referred to HR.
Resolution number 2015-0109, a resolution making an award on requisition number 31427 to Michael Baker Jr. in the amount not to exceed $678,383 for design engineering services for replacement of Mastic Road Bridge number 03.13, side hill structure in the city of Fairview Park, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award in this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Refer to Public Works.
Resolution number 2015-0110, a resolution making an award on requisition number 33761 to Chagrin Valley Paving in the amount not to exceed $1,474,279.95 for resurfacing Bennett Road from Edgerton Road to Bridgewater Drive in the city of North Royalton, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award in this resolution, authorizing the county engineer on behalf of the county executive to make an application for allocation from county motor vehicle $7.50 license tax funds in the amount of $1,179,423.96 to fund said contract, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Refer to Public Works.
Resolution number 2015-0111, a resolution adopting the annual tax budget, including the Cuyahoga County Library budget for the year 2016, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Refer to Finance.
Resolution number 2015-0112, a resolution adopting the 2015 Economic Development Plan in accordance with Section 7.05 of the Cuyahoga County Charter and Section 801.01 of the Cuyahoga County Code, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Refer to Economic Development.
Resolution number 2015-0113, a resolution making an award on requisition number 32388 to Adoption Network Cleveland in the amount not to exceed $749,000 for permanency supportive services for the period 4/1/2015 through 3/31/2017, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award in this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Refer to Health and Human Services.
Resolution number 2015-0114, a resolution making an award on requisition number 32092 to Northwoods Consulting Partners in the amount not to exceed $573,229 for software and professional services for maintenance and support of the electronic document imaging system for the period 9/1/2015 through 8/31/2016, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award in this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Refer to Finance. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution number 2015-0093, a resolution authorizing the use of a portion of the proceeds of the Cuyahoga County Sales Tax Revenue Bond Series 2014 County Facilities Improvement in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $14 million for the purposes of paying certain costs of demolition of blighted and nuisance properties and making grants therefor, authorizing other actions related to the use of such proceeds, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This item will move to the June 23rd meeting for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2015-0103, a resolution authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 1300435 with Child Care Resource Center of Cuyahoga County, doing business as Starting Point for out-of-school time and transition services for the out-of-school time program for the period 9/1/2013 through 9/30/2015, to extend the time period to 9/30/2016, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,400,000, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendment and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This will also move to the June 23rd council agenda for consideration of third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption or suspension of rules. Could I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? Rules have been suspended.
Resolution number 2015-0099, a resolution confirming the county executive's reappointment of the Honorable Gary A. Norton, Jr. to serve on the Greater Cleveland Regional Transit Authority Board of Trustees for a term ending 2/28/2018, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt. Second.
Been moved and adopted and seconded to adopt. Discussion?
Yes, Mr. President. The next four items on the agenda were in the Human Resources and Appointment and Equity Committee. All of the candidates were fully vetted before the committee members, and we asked for passage for each of the four.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2015-0100, a resolution confirming the county executive's reappointment of A. Stephen Dever to serve in his official capacity as representative of Cuyahoga County on the Lake Erie Energy Development Corporation Board of Directors for the term 5/1/2015 through 4/30/2017, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Second. Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2015-0101, a resolution confirming the county executive's appointment of Michael W. Dever to serve on the District 1 Public Works Integrating Committee for the term 6/22/2015 through 6/21/2018, confirming the appointment of Jamal Hassani to serve as alternate to Michael W. Dever, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 2015-0102, a resolution confirming the county executive's reappointment of Stanley Kozaleski to serve on the District 1 Public Works Integrating Committee for a term ending 6/21/2018, confirming the appointment of Michael Kubik to serve as alternate to Stanley Kozaleski, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, the resolution is adopted. Consideration of a resolution for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2015-0096, a resolution authorizing amendments to agreements and contracts with various providers for the Cuyahoga County Fatherhood Initiative for the period 7/1/2014 through 6/30/2015 to extend the time period to 6/30/2016 and for additional funds, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendments and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion.
Mr. Chairman, just like to add my name to this, please.
Please add Councilman Councilman Harrison's name.
I have a question.
Okay.
If somebody from the
Councilman-
committee has the answer, if not, it's fine. I can get it. I'm supporting this, but there's an allocation to the Children's Museum of Cleveland, and I just wanted to know if the chair from the committee remembers what that's for, or Dave Merriman. Awesome.
Good evening, David Merriman, Cuyahoga Job and Family Services. The Dad's Count program that we manage with the Children's Museum is a program where we engage fathers to bring their children to the museum. Last year we had 510 fathers bring their children. I think there's many parts of the community that find the museum a great resource. Others do not feel they can approach it, and I think some of it is just lack of awareness of where it is. And so we promote the museum. We have a special program there where we work on parent-child bonding, and we provide assistance with admission. So we want to make sure fathers that don't have the means to utilize the programs in the Children's Museum, the ability to get in and to take advantage of those opportunities with their children.
So I don't need it now, but can I have a breakdown about the museum costs after this, so I just can see what how that shakes down?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Further discussion?
Mr.
Councilman Gallagher and then Councilman Jones.
I will not be supporting this. I think this program is ripe to be looked at for duplicative programs. I believe the city of Detroit has a similar program. I'm not certain as far as the total funding, but I know it's privately funded. And I know this because I was listening to the radio, and they had a commercial for these dads to bring their children to the Detroit Children's Museum for free. The museum threw that in. So here we are looking foolish again, throwing money into programs where other cities are doing it for free. So you might want to look at Detroit and find out what they're doing up there, because it's sad to say Detroit is further along than Cleveland, obviously, and certainly this county. Thank you.
Councilman Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. I certainly support any efforts to be cost effective and improve the way we do things in the county. But our focus is on human services, on meeting the needs of the most vulnerable members of this community. And fathers do represent a vulnerable segment, and the Fatherhood Initiative has had a stellar record. And I don't believe any program is perfect, but they certainly have had a stellar record and are well respected within the community in their efforts to help fathers navigate the county system, to help strengthen their relationships with their children. And this is a program that I wholeheartedly support, and I do ask my colleagues for their support as well for the passage of this one-year extension of their finances.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Miscellaneous committee reports. Start over here with Councilwoman Simon. Nothing? Okay. Councilman Jones?
We will have a committee meeting in 8 days to deal with the items referred today.
Yes, President Brady, the Human Resources Appointment and Equity will meet on June 16th. It will be a change. We will not have the presentation in regards to the health benefits, but we will deal with the items that were referred today. Thank you.
Economic Development will have a meeting next Monday at 3 o'clock, which will follow the Finance Committee meeting. So if anybody wants to attend two exciting committees back to back, they'll be right there.
Public Works and Contracting will be meeting on June 17th at 10 a.m.
Finance and Budgeting will meet just before Mr. Schron's exciting committee, Monday at 1 p.m.
Okay. Thank you. Miscellaneous business. I guess somebody ought to say something, right? This is, in spite of my strong feelings about the separation of sports and state, this is a very special evening, and the weather is really great for baseball. But honestly, the entire community is obviously very excited and proud of the success of the Cavaliers. These games can be difficult to watch, I've found. And last night's or the other night was no exception. Events like this certainly do bring the community together, regardless of whatever our backgrounds are. The team has come a long way to get to where they are tonight. It's really remarkable. And so on behalf of the council, we congratulate the team, and even for the casual fan, we are all in. So that was difficult for me. Any public comment unrelated to the agenda?
No, Mr. President, no one is signed in.
All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
We are adjourned.
Mr. Deaver.